Let us discuss problem E, character blocking. It is a data structure problem with a lot of observation to process it. So we are given two strings first of all, which are of lowercase Latin letters and have equal length, and then we have Q queries, and these queries can be of three types. First type query can block the character, and it is given which position, I mean the character of which position it has to block. So first type of query will block the character at position for t seconds. Also before queries, two more parameters are given. One is t time, and the other parameter is q. Q basically are the number of queries. Before the queries begin, these are the two parameters given. And so one of the queries is first type, a block query, such that it will block the character at position for t seconds. Then there is a second query which will basically swap two unblocked characters, and it is given the basically we will get the input and we have to swap according to the input. We will be given proper inputs for that, and it is given that the numbers we are going to swap will be unblocked at that particular time. And third type of query will ask us whether the string now is equal or not. I mean both the strings are equal or not if we ignore the blocked characters, which basically means if we don't consider the blocked characters, then the remaining characters, are they equal to each other or not in both of the string. If they are equal, we have to print yes, and otherwise we have to print no. So basically we have to output only for the third type of query, and the remaining two are kind of processing queries. So I think you all of you must have understood the type of input, how input will be given. Now let us directly jump to how I basically approached this problem or wrote down the solution. And particularly I need to show you the code to explain the whole thing, what was going in my mind during the contest for this problem. Okay, so what I did is, first of all, as usual, we took the input, the two strings, and after taking the input, accordingly we took the other inputs t and q. Now before going for the queries, I have this set of basically two sets. One set is neq, which means not equal. It will basically contains the indexes, those indexes which at which s1 and s2 characters at which are not equal in both of the strings. And block, this is blck, this set will basically contain the indexes at which the characters are blocked. And then we have a priority queue of pair, which will basically contain pair, and these also you can see over here, this is a priority queue with smaller values before, like at the top, at the priority, smaller values. So it will contain a timer, or rather say a time stamp comma index. That's what it will contain. If you are not getting it right now, I'll explain at the further step, then you will surely be getting it why I have this priority queue of pairs. Then after that I have this for loop, and to basically this is to insert in this neq set the indexes which are not equal in both of these arrays. After that I have this global timer which is initially set to 0. Then I have this while q minus minus loop to process the queries. Now this is TP, basically means type of query, and before going anywhere I am increasing this timer globally for every kind of query, for all the queries I mean. So initially this timer is getting incremented every time. Okay, so if it is a type 1 query, if TP equal 1, it means we have to take input of a position according to the inputs given in the problem, we will take this position, and since this position is one indexing based, I have done this position minus minus. And what I did is, if it is a block, since this type 1 query is a block kind of query, I will do two things. Firstly, if this position index is in any queue, then I'll erase it from any queue, since now it will not be considered as a not equal type. Like, we will not consider it while comparing those two strings given. And the other thing we will do is, we will push in our priority queue this position at the second pair element, and the first pair element would be this the current timer plus t, since the that particular position will be blocked for t seconds. So that's what we did for tp equal 1. I mean, the first type of query. In the second type of query, we basically took 4 input as per the inputs given in the problem, and did same thing to for zero indexing. Then I have this temporary character, and accordingly, if w equal 1, which basically means this whole if else is just to swap the characters accordingly given in the input. That if we have to like swap from the same array or different array, that's what it basically means, this if else thing. Now after this if else, if let's say after swapping, if both of these s1 and s2 at position x, those characters become equal, then we will simply, and if they are present in the any queue set, then we will erase them. Similarly, we do for the other other position, one is x and other one is z as given in the input. And again, if let's say they would have been like not equal, like after swapping they become not equal, let's say it might be possible that they might be equal before swapping or not equal, that doesn't matter, but after, if they become not equal, then we will insert them in our NEQ set. That's what we did in the second type of query. Now the third type of query is there. Before processing the third query, we will simply take out pairs from our priority queue, such that if the pairs at the front have this first value small or equal to timer or the current time, which means they were blocked for this much of time only. Now if this first value small or equal to timer, then it means it is their time to get up, like get unblocked. So in that case, we have basically saved this second or the index thing as svv. And if currently this s1 vv and s2 vv are not equal, then we'll put them in any queue. Otherwise we and if they are like equal, then we don't have to do anything. They are already equal. It is similar to the block kind of state. Apart from that, we will pop out the first element from the priority queue. And let's say if the current element or the top one element has this first value greater than tmr, then we will break out from this loop. Now if this NEQ is empty, which means that there are no position in the string which is not equal to each other, in I mean the both of the strings, that means everything is equal, then we will output yes, otherwise we will output no. That was all for this problem. I hope you got the solution, and if you do, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.